understandably so. But, of course, the major concern is human loss. I mean, do you know if there were many people in the building?
Oh, another one just hit. Something else just hit. A very large plane just flew directly over my building, and there's been another collision. Can you see it? I can see it on the shot.
Oh, my.
Something else has
You know what? We just saw a plane circling the building.
Hello?
Did you just see this happen, Jennifer?
Matt, I've never seen any. It looks like a movie. I saw a large plane, like a jet, going immediately headed directly into the World Trade Center. It just flew into it, into the other tower coming from south to north. I watched the plane fly into the World Trade Center. It was a jet. It was a very large plane. It was going fast. It went past the Ritz-Carlton Hotel that's being built in Battery Park. It flew right past it, almost hit it. And then
The videotape that we just showed you, you will see what appears to be a large plane. It could be a 727 right there, maybe even bigger, flying right into the side of the World Trade Center.
it was at least a 727. It was a jet. I couldn't believe my eyes watching it right above me.
And now...
It's kind of an introduction. The man I'm interviewing is my uncle, Captain John Cornelius. He works in the Salvation Army, and he had some really interesting experiences after, because he visited New York a couple days after, and we did not have time to get to all that. So I will put links in the description for you to go and check out, and hope you enjoy. Alright, how old were you and where were you when the first flight hit the World Trade Center?
I was 35 years old, and I was in Olean, New York, as the Corps officer for the Salvation Army there.
Alright, how did you find out about the attacks?
My wife called me up on the telephone, and she told me that I needed to get to TV right away. So I ran across the church and went and turned on the television and saw what was happening.
Alright, what were you doing when you got the news? What were you doing around?
I was actually working with a client at the Salvation Army in Olean.
Alright, and how did you react when you heard the news?
Well, I didn't know quite. I was a little taken back because at the time the first one hit, nobody really knew exactly what it was that it hit the World Trade Center, what size plane, or if it was a terroristic act or if it was not.
Today, like in nowadays, how do you feel about the events?
Well, it's something that'll never leave me. By the third day, on the 13th, I was down at Ground Zero at the pit, and I was there serving as captain in the Salvation Army, and a lot of the things that I saw I could never say again. But one thing I can say is that it doesn't seem like it's been 10 years, and it doesn't seem like that much time has gone by, and I don't think in my life it will ever change in that way.
Is it hard for you to talk about it today, what you went through down at Ground Zero?
It is. For specific questions, it is very difficult. For more general, broader questions like what you're asking me today, I can usually deal with those. But the more difficult questions of what was seen and what did you witness and how everything happened while things progressed and took place there while I was there. No, those are still very difficult today.
What do you think the legacy of the attack is and was?
Well, I hope in my heart that the legacy will be that we've become a stronger and closer nation, and that we'll continue to do that. We'll have learned from those things and maybe try and look past some of the things in that are wrong with the country and try to look to the things that are right with it and try and build from there.
All right, in 100 years, how do you think Americans will remember 9/11?
I think there'll still be tributes. I think you'll see a lot of things like what is in Pearl Harbor. I think you'll see where people will still remember. I think the tribute and everything that is going on and being rebuilt down there right now is going to remind people of what happened. I think family members will consistently keep going there. Of course, not immediate, but relations and more distant. But I think that at the same time, you'll see that people will still remember, and that in some ways people will never forget.
Have you seen the memorial for that they have put up? Have you seen that yet?
I saw it on the news, but I have not been back to New York City in the last couple of years.
All right, so just what you've seen of it, what's your opinion of it?
I think they're doing a very good job, and making sure that people do remember, and making sure that they're reverent and truly honoring the people that lost their lives that day, both those that were trying to get out and both those that were running in.
All right, is there anything else you'd like to say? Any last words or anything?
No, Matt. I think that's all. I thank you for the time and for considering me for this interview.